So, good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again with another transfer update. This time we're going to talk about Amadou Onana, one of the brightest players in Everton's failing season. He is linked to a move to Arsenal. Reportedly, they want around 50 million quid for him. Good joke, Everton, good joke. But before we get into talking about that and looking through that with a fine tooth comb, make sure you are smashing the like button up. That would be great. That would help the algorithm. So do that now, and make sure you are sharing the content around as well. Appreciate everybody who does do that. Make sure you check out the show I did with Rants. I also did a show about Caicedo as well. We were linked to him yesterday. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Go and check it out, and make sure you are sticking your donations down below via the thanks option. Thanks very much to everybody who does do that. I do appreciate it. But journalist Graham Bailey has told 90 Mins. Is Graham Bailey a respected journalist? Is he any good? I don't know. I've seen his name pop up a few times this January. But like all of these transfer rumours, these journalists, dear, oh dear. Anyway, we continue. He told 90 Minutes Talking Transfers podcast that Everton want 50 million for Amadou Onana, with Arsenal making contact over a potential move for the midfielder. There's not much going right for the Toffees right now. Frank Lampard has been sacked. Unlucky. After a tough time on Merseyside, and it appears they're about to lose out on the signing of Danjuma. As I record this, Danjuma has signed for Tottenham after doing a medical at Everton. Crazy. He has signed on loan. Of course, Everton face a tough time in the transfer window, and it seems that they are open to selling one of their big players before the deadline. Before we get on to the rest of this article, they have... Well, it's been put out there today. Everton haven't put it out there as far as I'm aware, but it has been leaked out there today that Gordon and Onana were not in training today. They were the only two players that didn't turn up for training today. Now, Gordon is apparently linked, and as I record this, 10 to 9 Spanish time in the evening, apparently Gordon is very close to signing for Newcastle United. And obviously this story's now 2 and 2 together. Arsenal are in for Onana. Obviously, we need another midfielder, and this guy is a midfielder. He fits Project Youth. Is it Project Youth? Is it still Project Youth? He is 21 years old, and he plays in the Premier League. Obviously, he was in Germany before that, but 2 and 2 equals 955 sometimes. And yeah, we shall see what happens. Whether this happens in the January window, whether it happens in the summer, or whether it doesn't happen at all remains to be seen. But let's continue. Onana only joined the club in the summer, and while he is not the finished article, has been one of the bright lights for Everton so far. But now they're open to letting him go. And there is an interest. Journalist Sasha Tavalieri reported on Monday that Arsenal want the 21-year-old, and Graham Bailey has now suggested that the Gunners have taken some early steps over a potential move for the Belgian. Intriguingly, he said they are considering letting Amadou Onana go, the midfielder who came in for 33 million from Lille last summer. He carries a price tag of 50 million. Newcastle and Arsenal have both been in touch, he told 90 Minutes Talking Transfers podcast. I think we can confirm neither of those are going to pay 50 million this month. One team we know probably would, and the other is thinking about it, is Chelsea. And is thinking about it, probably would, and is thinking about it, is Chelsea, sorry. It would appear that Arsenal are unlikely to sign Onana in this window, but it will be interesting to see how they act if it appears that they may be edging towards the move to Chelsea. Of course, the two sides, blah, 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 about Mudryk. But they are really keen on signing him. And if they want to act, it seems they may... I can't speak. Take a deep breath, Lee. But if they are really keen to sign Onana, they may well have to act now. Otherwise, other clubs will be lurking. Now, listen, is this kid any good? And I do love the transfer window because it does come up with so many funny stories. And it does come up with everybody becoming a football expert. It comes up with people, statisticians. All of a sudden, they're the greatest coaches. They're analytical guys. Every football fan in the transfer window turns into a statistician, a mathematician. They turn into literally the best coach on the planet. They could get a job in the top clubs in the world the way they go on. But here's where I break this stuff down, right? This guy came in for 33 mil. He's 1 meter 95. He's quite tall. I've seen him play a few times. Obviously, Premier League, we get that in Spain, believe it or not. And I've watched quite a lot of Everton just to laugh at Frank Lampard, if I'm honest. But this guy can play CM and DM, and he's played both quite a lot this season. He's made 20 appearances for Everton, 12 at DM, 8 at CM. Me personally, I think his best position is DM because his passing is not that great to be a midfielder, a CM. So defensive midfield, get the ball, just pass it to someone better. I don't think he's got that long pass in him that Thomas Partey has, that Casemiro has, that Rodri has. You know, there's top DMs out there that can spray a ball left, right, and centre. Now, listen, he is only young. So obviously his passing can improve. But for me, I don't think he's good enough to play at CM. So would this be a backup to Thomas Partey if we was to sign him? I don't know. We obviously have Sambi Lokonga, who I do think will be out of the club by the summer. Obviously, Elneny's still here as well. I think he'll be out of the club by the summer. So I do think we need a player in that position for sure. But are we going to go and do 50 million quid or close to 50 million quid on a player that has literally made 20 appearances in English football? I'm not convinced. I can't lie. That's a lot of money. And listen, it ain't my money, so I genuinely don't care. But that is a lot of money to be taking a punt. You know, we took a punt on Sambi Lokonga for 17 million. That ain't really worked out, has it? And he can't get a game. And it's not too bad if we get rid of him now because we're going to get probably most of that money back. If we take a punt on this guy at 50 million, I'm not convinced that we're going to get all of that money back if it don't go right. So I don't know. I'm not too sure. Listen, his contract expires in 2027. So I understand he obviously has just signed for Everton. They spent 33 on him. They're obviously looking to get a little bit of cash in the bank. So the next manager, whoever that may be, can have a little bit of money to spend, whether that be in this window or whether that be in the summer window. They're obviously looking to get some money in. Gordon going as well. That's going to be decent wedge. But I'm not so sure. And what does this do for the Declan Rice links? We've been linked to Caicedo, Declan Rice. You know, is it a case of let's go and get this player now or in the summer because he's a cheaper option? I don't know. For me personally, if we're going to go and spend 50 on this guy, I'd rather go and do another 20 and get Caicedo. Maybe even go the full hog and go and get Declan Rice. Declan Rice and Caicedo, very similar, different attributes slightly, but they are very similar players and similar ages. And they've both played Premier League football. Caicedo, again, only joined recently, but I've seen enough from that guy in a team that plays good football, dominates possession. I think he'd slot straight into Arsenal just like that. Whereas I'm not sure that this guy that's playing at Everton is going to be able to just slot straight in. And not only that, would he get in the team over Thomas Partey? Yes, I know we're going to probably have Champions League football next season. 99.9% guaranteed it. Is this guy going to be playing Champions League games? No, I'm not so sure. Is he going to just play League Cup and FA Cup? And if that's the case, are we just dismissing them cups? I don't know. There's a lot of questions to be answered. And listen, we've got a week left of the transfer window. It's going to be madness for the next 7 days. There's going to be stories going off left, right, and centre. And I'm expecting us to sign one more player. Who that may be, I don't know. Maybe it's this guy. I'd love to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you rate him? Listen, he's not a bad player. He can win fouls quite regularly. Every time I've seen him, he wins free kicks left, right, and centre. And he can obviously make fouls as well, which he is doing. He is quite clumsy at times, but that's because he is young and his reading of the game is not an elite level. Hence why he was signed for Everton and not for another team higher up the table challenging for league titles. But anyway, he is big, he's strong, he's tall. Yeah, good future ahead of him, I think. I think he is a talent. But having said that, it's a lot of money that I think we could probably spend on somebody else that is already more established than him, already more polished than him, because this guy is a little bit of a diamond in the rough. But let me know what you guys think. Maybe you think he's quality. Maybe you think we should sign him. Listen, if we sign him, I'll be happy because it's another player that's an upgrade on Sambi Lokonga and Elneny. Or is he an upgrade on Elneny? upgrade in terms of age. In terms of efficiency on the football pitch, Elneny's never really done anything wrong, has he? So it's just not that great. Let me know. Leave it in the comment section down below. I'll be back again when I wake up in the morning, well, early afternoon, lunchtime-ish with a stream. I'll also be on at 4 p.m. UK time with James Redmond. All right, mate, James. The mid-off, we'll be talking about the mid-off against Chelsea. We'll be talking about their transfer window, etc., etc., etc. I'm also on with Goonie on his channel as well. I need to double check what time, but I'm pretty sure that's 7 p.m. So plenty more to come. Make sure you sub to the channel, subscribe, share it all around, leave your donations down below. Let me know your thoughts on Amadou Onana. And I'm going to go and watch Newcastle away to Southampton, which is literally about to kick off. Adios, amigos.